What's going on, friends? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be planning once again, and I wanted to show you guys how I do that with no curriculum. If we don't know each other already, my name is Lauren. I am a former teacher turned homeschooling mom in Texas, and I like to share all the tidbits that I have taken from the classroom to our home learning, tying them in and just sharing with you guys what works for us. So maybe it will make your homeschooling journey a little more enjoyable or easier, or just offer some resources that might make things go a little bit more smoothly for you. Last week we discussed and learned about sharks. That was something that my son wanted to do after we got done with our bats unit. So last week we did sharks, and then this upcoming week I'm going to be sharing with you shortly all of the different topic areas that we are going to be going over. And as always, I have pulled these from the Texas State Standards, and then I just kind of pieced together activities, lessons, and experiences that go along with that to cover those different topics and just help guide our learning at home. Before we get too deep into today's video, I did want to share with you a few different templates that you can find on my website. You can either use these as digital downloads or have a hard copy of them, like if you print them out. I have all of them in a little spiralized binder, whatever you want to call this, a bound book. And I wanted to share with you a few different planning templates that are included in the weekly homeschool and work templates bundle, because I find that my brain sometimes likes to work this way, where I can lay out the whole week. If we have different things going on throughout the week, it's easy to look at a whole spread. But there are also breakdowns in there that include a homeschool and a work schedule if that is something that you are needing. And then there are different forms of lesson planning templates as well. So if you are looking for something that is very versatile, that works for your mind and doesn't become monotonous throughout the weeks or from week to week and lesson to lesson or unit to unit, I would highly recommend you go and check those out, because I have formed those as far as whatever I would need or whatever I would want for a specific time, and they're all compiled into one document, and it is very affordable. So I will leave the link for those below. That is kind of what I'm going to be working off of for myself. So I am going to be using that, and you'll see me writing whatever we're going to be working on in our upcoming unit. And I wanted you to know where you can find them for yourself. If you already have a planner that you love, awesome. Definitely share in the comments below what you love about that planner, or what planning method works best for you and for your approach when it comes to planning. And we are going to be learning about and kind of reviewing a lot of different things, that I'm going to tie them all together. So one of the things that we're going to be covering is famous inventors. And another thing that I'm going to be tying together with that is writing a letter. So we are going to not only explore different inventors, inventions, and talk about like characteristics and perseverance when it comes to inventing things, but we're also going to be writing a letter and really tying in the mindset of, if you knew this person, if you were able to ask them a question, let's say Thomas Edison, for example. So if we were to write him a letter and he was alive today, what are some things that we would want to know, some questions that we would have about his journey as far as inventing goes, and be able to kind of connect those two things together. And I think that helps to solidify not only the concepts that you're learning, but take along the learning of new ideas and what we learn about a person, what we learn about those characteristics, like I was mentioning before, and be able to apply them in many different ways. And so that kind of helps your brain to create like a big picture, to tie different subjects together. So that's really my goal, and I'll show you what my thinking is for how we're going to accomplish that. For math, we're going to be reviewing money. And so I have showed you guys before that I had an activity that goes in one of those photo boxes that I found like in the Target bullseye or dollar spot. and it had like a bunch of different punch outs. So we're going to be going back and reviewing that. I really just want that to be an easy way for us to review and practice skip counting by 5s, 10s, 20s, and then adding all of those together. We're going to work on counting coins again and all of those different concepts that come along. And then with science, we are going to be diving into magnets. So we have a set of magnets. I don't know if you guys have seen, I can't think off the top of my head exactly what they're called, but they're different shapes like triangles, squares, and I think that they have like some that they consider a diamond. I think that we're going to be using that to kind of dive into our magnet unit, get some more learning and hands-on experience with that. And then next week, we are going to be taking a little trip to our nature center that's nearby. They're opening back up and they have like a new exhibit, and I believe that they'll have some new animals there. So we're gonna take a look at that, and then I guarantee that we will jump into a different unit as far as that goes, with a specific animal group, or maybe even animal like my son had asked to do sharks last week. Let's see. Okay, so that was writing, science, math, and social studies. And then with our reading, we are continuing to practice reading, but I do want to show you guys what I'm going to be using for our sight words. So I am going to use this just like one day out of this upcoming week to see if this format works. I have created just a document once again on Canva. If you haven't seen my video on how to create easy, simple, and free resources for yourself on Canva, definitely go check that out. And I will leave that link above as well so you can hop over there if you're interested. So on Canva, I just put together a short and sweet little page with different sight words starting with TH and a sentence below. So this will not only help us to review those sight words, but to also practice with reading short sentences and writing. Just gonna have my son trace over those. But I did break down the sight words and kind of color code them so the different sounds are in different colors within the sight words. So I'm hoping that this will help to really solidify those concepts, because I am finding that we are practicing and reviewing TH a lot, and it's something that I'm really trying to work with my son to just melt into his brain so that he doesn't forget it and it doesn't become frustrating when we get to TH and he's like, I can't remember if it says sh or ch, when in fact it doesn't say either one of those, but I can definitely understand why that is a confusing concept to just remember. So I'm hoping if I go this route, I can continue with our sight words and color coding the sounds so that it just helps, once again, make another connection where you're not just seeing it and reading it, but also remembering that those colors were together whenever those different letters were forming one sound. Okay, so now that we have covered all of the big topics, let's go ahead and jump over to choosing the activities that will go along with them, and I'll show you guys what else I come up with along the way. Here is the activity that I was telling you guys about. It has flashcards for money, and there are like different little activities and things that you can do with these, and then it tells you the answer to the amount of money that's on the opposite side. And it came with punch outs of the bills and the coins so that we can use those to help with our money unit. And we've already gone over like the name of the coin, the name of the bill, their attributes, and how much they're worth. So now I'm just using this to go back in and help with our addition practice and word problems. So that's how I will be using this for math. And then I found this activity on Teachers Pay Teachers. It's from Mrs. Hankinson's class, and it has some more simple matches on here, or like sorts. But what we'll be using is a like really quick little review for pennies. And then there's nickels on here. So this will reinforce skip counting by 1s, 5s, 10s for dimes. And then it has a little flip book that we can use for our interactive journal as well. So I'm going to pull just a few of these pages from this document to use to help reinforce those concepts too. Okay, I was able to find a few really cute, fun videos of how to be an inventor, and that's by the Kid President. If you haven't seen some of those videos, they're really cute, but also very informative. And then there's also one talking about like the timeline of American inventions and American inventors. So I'm going to incorporate both of those. And then I found a famous inventors book. So this has Thomas Edison, Alexander Graham Bell, and let's see, Garrett Morgan in here. So there's also a spot to write about what you've learned about each person, and then at the end it says I learned, and then there's also a spot to write at the end too. So I thought that was great. And then I went ahead and printed out a letter writing template to go along. Like I said, I want for my son to choose one of these inventors and write a letter just talking about like what they've learned or what he's learned from it, and like tying in the characteristics and different attributes that you have to have as far as like perseverance and confidence and things like that. So that's what we're going to be planning for writing / history, social studies-ish. So then the next thing for me to do is figure out what I'm going to incorporate for science, and then that will be done as far as choosing all of our different activities to go along with our learning. Okay, and last but not least, we're going to be using this Exploring with Magnets page, and so we will talk about the different types of magnets, and I'll probably go ahead and find a horseshoe and a donut magnet so that we can try them all out, see if there are any changes, and then it gives a list of different things like around the house that you can explore to see if they are magnetic or not. So this is where we will start, and I'll probably find some more things to go along with this, and I plan to also have a building challenge to go with the linking magnets that he has. That's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys being here. If this was helpful to you or you just enjoyed it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe button so you don't miss another one, and I will see you in the next one.